Gillespie to inbounds. He finds Queen. Queen turns, puts it up in the buzzer, and in! Maryland is headed to the Sweet 16 for the second time in 22 years. It's the freshman Derek Queen. He's the Maryland hero.
Weathers looking for anybody. Running out of time, she finds Barker, stripped away, and Maryland will head to the Sweet 16. Beating Alabama by 3 in double overtime, capping off the game of the year in college basketball.
The best plays.
Dixon from the corner for the win. It's no good. Maryland hangs on.
And biggest moments across 11 Division I sports. This is WMUC Sports, the official home for Maryland Student Radio.
Mack on Cortez. To advance. Scores! Lauren Mack. Save 2, scores the winner, and Maryland advances to next weekend and the Sweet 16.
Lauren Mack, the hero on the night.
Using your help to broadcast live in College Park.
Washington keeps it, dives into the end zone. He's got a touchdown.
And across the country.
Welcome to Foxborough, Massachusetts.
Or Camp Randall Stadium, Newark, New Jersey.
Eugene,
Evanston,
Indianapolis,
Champaign, Illinois.
Right outside of LA. It's Maryland at UCLA. So sit back, hit subscribe. Let's get you out to the game live on
WMUC Sports.
WMUC Sports.
WMUC Sports. WMUC Sports. Your Terps.
It's your Terps, your Terps, your Terps.
Your Terps, your station.
All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Xfinity Center. Tonight, Maryland basketball hosts the Ohio State Buckeyes coming in to tonight's game. Terps have been struggling. My name is Jack Zwirn, alongside Adam Lipman, Ryan Martin. Now, like I said, Terps have been struggling coming in, looking to right the ship against the team that has struggled to win here at the Xfinity Center.
And I mean, Jack, the Xfinity Center has been the best place all season for Maryland, which sadly is not saying much for these Terps, who are only 5-5. They're going to have to try and move to above 500 here today, but for Ohio State, they're not too hot on the road. And Jack, you have some players that you're especially watching out for in this matchup.
Yeah, one of those in particular is Bruce Thornton. He's been leading this Buckeye squad throughout the entire season. He's already made some history in this 2025-2026 season. He's looking to make more. Already what he's done, he was named captain for the 4th straight season, becoming the first to do so in the 127-year history of Buckeye basketball. He left his company of being 3-time captains with Buckeye legend Terrence Dials. And then there's even more. He's chasing after 2 more career accomplishments. Coming into tonight's matchup, he's 104 points away from 2,000 in his collegiate career. And he's also 16 assists away from becoming the second Buckeye ever to score 1,700 points, 400 rebounds, and 500 assists in his career. If he's able to get there, he would join the 1980 NBA Rookie of the Year runner-up, Kelvin Ramsey, as the only Buckeyes to ever accomplish that feat and become 1 of 10 in Big Ten history.
And I mean, Jack, that sounds like a future Ohio State Hall of Fame resume right there.
Yes, it does.
Does Maryland have anyone who could stack up with that for just tonight? We don't have to think about legacies right now, but just tonight as the Terps are trying to fight back against the Buckeyes.
Well, the Terps have had their fair share of struggles this season. It's been well documented. But the one bright spot that's been there just about all season has been Diggy Coit. Coit's been incredible on this season. The former pizza delivery boy is now the Terps' leading scorer, and he has 2 40-point games this season, becoming the first Maryland player to do so since the 1950s. One of those against Penn State, it was 43 points, 9 3-pointers in that one. He set the record for the most points in a single game at the Xfinity Center. He has a special bond with Maryland assistant coach Steve Roccaforte. They almost paired up at Texas A&M a couple years ago. They finally did so here in College Park, and Coit's success this season, finally getting that pair with Coach Roccaforte. They're well known as he accounts for almost a third of the Terrapin 3-pointers this season, with 55 entering tonight's game.
So the Terps are going to have to turn to, as you said, the former pizza delivery boy for deliverance from one of the darkest stretches in program history. But Jack, will tonight be a game of 3-pointers, or are we going to see a lot of action under the net and in the paint.
Well, I was looking into that, and I saw that there's a lot of three-pointers that you'll see from both sides here. Diggy Coit, obviously, with a third of Maryland's three-pointers, but they've been shooting the ball from three pretty well so far in these past few games. However, for the Ohio State side, they have a few players who shoot threes well of their own. Thornton, like I mentioned, but also John Mobley Jr. Mobley, he has 4 consecutive 20-point games. He scored a 3 in every single game this season. Both of them, don't look out for them to be beyond the arc, shooting threes, going shot for shot with Diggy Coit.
And I mean, it speaks to the depth of this Ohio State roster that you're listing off these accomplishments for Mobley, and he wasn't even your player to watch.
Exactly.
And I think that really says something here is, that top duo has not really powered Ohio State to where they want to be. They've been middling, you could say, throughout 2026, trading back and forth. Their longest win streak, 2 games. Their longest losing streak, 1. They've just been going back and forth, and they're really going to try and build some momentum here before the season comes to a close.
Yeah, I mean, another number on Thornton. He's top 5 in the Big Ten in points per game, 19.5 per game. Just an insane mark for the 4-time captain, Bruce Thornton. So Adam, I'm going to throw this back over to you, though. What are you expecting to see here tonight? Is Maryland going to be able to finally break out of this 1-9 start to conference play?
Well, I think it's more about looking at progress, because we've seen the good at the start of the season, we've seen some bad, and then recently in these last 3 games, we have seen the ugly. So if Maryland wants to turn this ship around and try and fight for a 500 record on the year, it's going to have to start in games like today where you're facing a team who is not firing on all cylinders. Can you take advantage? Can you find a moment to strike, potentially steal a win?
Yeah, coming into tonight's game, like you said, they're 8-13. So they really have a long ways to go before they can get to that 500 mark. But like you said, it all starts tonight. I'm Jack Zwirn alongside Adam Lipman. Ryan Martin will be joining us shortly. We'll be right back from the Xfinity Center.
Good evening and welcome to Xfinity Center for tonight's game featuring the Ohio State Buckeyes and your Maryland Terrapins. At this time, we ask that you
Gillespie to inbounds. He finds Queen. Queen turns, puts it up at the buzzer, and in! Maryland is headed to the Sweet 16 for the second time in 22 years. It's the freshman Derek Queen. He's the Maryland hero.
Weathers looking for anybody. Running out of time, she finds Barker, stripped away, and Maryland will head to the Sweet 16. Beating Alabama by 3 in double overtime, capping off the game of the year in college basketball.
The best plays,
Dixon from the corner for the win. It's no good. Maryland hangs on.
and biggest moments across 11 Division I sports. This is WMUC Sports, the official home for Maryland Student Radio.
Mack on Cortez. To advance. Scores! Lauren Mack. Save 2, scores the winner, and Maryland advances to next weekend and the Sweet 16.
Zwirn back, the hero on the night.
Using your help to broadcast live in College Park
Washington keeps it, dives into the end zone. He's got a touchdown.
and across the country.
Welcome to Foxborough, Massachusetts,
Camp Randall Stadium,
Newark, New Jersey.
Eugene, Evanston,
Indianapolis,
Champaign, Illinois.
Right outside of LA. It's Maryland at UCLA. So sit back, hit subscribe. Let's get you out to the game live on
WMUC Sports.
WMUC Sports.
WMUC Sports. WMUC Sports. Your Terps.
It's your Terps, your Terps, your Terps.
Your Terps, your station.
Well, it's been a January that wasn't too jubilant for Maryland men's basketball. The Terrapins finishing the month 8-12, 1-8 in Big Ten play. And their reward for that is the Purdue Boilermakers, who hand Maryland a 30-point loss this past weekend. The Terps cannot all go behind in what head coach Buzz Williams is calling foundational February, getting back to the basics with just a month left until March. Maryland's opponent today, the Ohio State Buckeyes, a team coached by second-year man Jake Diebler, has not lost 2 games in a row at all this season. They have a chance at doing so here tonight. Late on a Thursday, thanks so much for staying up with us. It's Maryland men's basketball versus Ohio State, and it's all on WMUC Sports. So glad you could join us. Joining you here today, alongside sideline reporter Jack Zwirn, my man Adam Lipman here. I'm Ryan Martin with you all night long for this late weeknight tip. Adam, you look at this Maryland team, it's been 3 straight losses by an average of 30 points per loss. It's a Terps team that needs to get back on track against an Ohio State team that also lost by double digits to Wisconsin.
I mean, Ryan, it has been quite the time for the Terrapin program. Negative 73-point differential in these last two games, as ugly as it can get in the season. And now Maryland are trying to prove that that's an outlier and not a trend of what's to come. Buzz Williams has had struggles in February. Last year was not ideal for Texas A&M, who had a big slide. So Williams is hoping that he got it out of the way early for his team this year. And hopefully they can build momentum in February, try and steal some Big Ten wins starting tonight.
It's a first-year man. Buzz Williams, as you mentioned, coming over from College Station with Texas A&M. Buzz Williams, Maryland men's basketball team, 8-13, 1-9 in big play, going up against Ohio State, 14-7, 6-5 in the conference. Not too many opportunities remaining. Just 7 games after tonight for Buzz Williams and Maryland, a team at the bottom of the Big Ten right now. And they're going to try something new. That's been a theme so far for Buzz Williams. So his starting 5 reads a couple of familiar faces. Freshman point guard Darius Adams gets the nod. So does Andre Mills. He's in to make his 14th of 22 starts. Solomon Washington has been a consistent starter. He's back in the lineup with Elijah Saunders. The next to the center position, Colin Metcalf makes his 2nd start of the season, 1st in Big Ten play, and 1st in 79 days. He started a November game against Mount St. Mary's, but now it's Metcalf, the transfer from Northeastern and German native. He'll start at center in another experiment for Buzz.
And I mean, for Metcalf, he's going to try and turn his season around. He was a contributor against Penn State, the only conference win Maryland has had, recording 6 rebounds in that game, but the stats are not kind to Metcalf. Coming into today, a rating negative 32. That's one of the worst marks in college ball. And in terms of his point scoring, he's ranked as a replacement player across all of NCAA basketball. So Metcalf clearly has proven something to Buzz Williams to earn a spot tonight, and he'll have to try and reward that faith.
Metcalf gets a starting nod against the Ohio State Buckeyes, who tried out a much more familiar starting 5. It starts with the 2-time All-Big Ten point guard Bruce Thornton. We'll say his name a lot today. He's joined alongside by guard John Mobley Jr. At the 3 spot, it's Amari Bynum. And in the front court, it's Devin Royal. And the guy that Colin Metcalf will have to guard, the starting center for Ohio State, 7 foot, also German native, Christoph Tilley.
And I mean, for this Ohio State team, they're about as opposite as it gets from how Buzz Williams runs the team. Focusing on sharp shooting from the 3-point line. Mobley Jr. and Thornton have been a dynamic duo who have not found that dynamic edge as 2026 has begun. They've been trading wins back and forth and have really struggled to take off. Could that start tonight against Maryland?
Your officials for tonight here at the Xfinity Center in College Park, Maryland. It's the crew of Brian Dorsey, James Breeding, and Bart Lennox. Both teams get ready for the tip-off. Maryland, a crowd of students staying up here on a Thursday night for a blackout theme. So the Terps in the alternate black uniforms, red logo with red numerals, a yellow trim on it. Ohio State and their road reds going from right to left. Tip-off is off and won by Ohio State. Here come the 14-7 Buckeyes from right to left. It starts with the senior point guard Bruce Thornton. A couple of accolades coming his way. We'll get to that shortly. Pass up top to John Mobley Jr. Left wing 3-pointer is short. Rebound up for grabs, and it goes to Maryland's Elijah Saunders. The UVA transfer passes to Andre Mills. Here come the Terps from left to right. Mills into the paint left side. Passes it out right wing. Solomon Washington thinks about a 3. Now move back over to the left side. 8-13 Terps on their first possession in this game to Colin Metcalf, who makes his 2nd start of the not-so-young season. Hand off to Andre Mills. Right wing 3 is long. Offensive rebound goes to Solomon Washington. It looks like he'll be fouled as he brought that one down, as Maryland immediately calls a huddle 45 seconds in.
And I mean, what we saw right there in that possession, Ryan, Maryland have struggled when they're shooting from beyond the 3-point line, when they're not directly in front of the net. They were on the side there, couldn't find an angle.
Foul goes against Ohio State's Devin Royal. That's the first foul in this game. Scoreless less than a minute in. Elijah Saunders to Andre Mills. Right wing 3 is short again. Offensive rebound goes to Mills. His second chance bucket. It's a good layup with the left hand. Terps put the first 2 points on the board a minute in. Thornton atop the key has a teammate in Tilley. Christoph Tilley sets up on the left wing, now goes into the paint. Left-handed layup is short. Good defense and rebound by Maryland's Colin Metcalf. Ohio State misses its first 2 shots. Here comes Andre Mills and the Terps from left to right. Into the right wing with Solomon Washington. Back up top to Mills. Onto the left elbow with Elijah Saunders. Saunders working on Royal. Hands it off to Adams. Mid-range jumper is long. Big bounce and finally into the hands of Ohio State's John Mobley Jr. Tries to pass it and throw it off a Terp to keep it in bounds. Instead, he'll just throw it towards his own Buckeye bench. This ball is going to stay with Maryland.
So the Terps have things going early, which is what they need because they're trying to turn the page on 2 games where they could not get going at all. And this duo of Mills and Adams are exactly who we want to be watching. They had 35 points combined last game.
Elijah Saunders inbounds it in front of Ohio State's bench. It's 2-0 Terps, a minute and a half in. Andre Mills atop the key. Back to Solomon Washington. Left wing three-pointer is long. Offensive rebound goes to Darius Adams, and his right foot with the bright white sneakers touched the red end line for Maryland. That's out of bounds in a Buckeye ball.
So after 2 early possessions, Maryland lose it here, and I mean, we're seeing that they've just struggled to establish good 3-point looks, and that's going to have to change quickly if they're going to keep up with Ohio State. We're unlikely to stay scoreless for long.
It's an Ohio State team that averages over 82 points per game. That's 5th best in the Big Ten. Bruce Thornton needs 2 points to reach 1,900 for his career. Has it on the left wing. Buckeyes work from right to left. Thornton free throw line jumper. Couple bounce off the rim and it drops down. That's 1,900 for the great career of Bruce Thornton. Averages the 5th most points per game, about 20 points per game, and he ties this up at 2 minutes in. Comes the 6th Buckeye to reach 1,900. Now we'll play some defense against Darius Adams atop the key. Bounce pass to the left elbow with Colin Metcalf. He gives it back to his freshman Adams. Andre Mills bounce pass inside to Metcalf. Another bounce pass to Saunders. He's got it on the right block with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Right-handed layup, it drops down. 4-2 Terps, 17-24 in the first half. Here's Andre Bynum with it offensively. He'll get fouled by Elijah Saunders. The Terp love that call, and Maryland will huddle back up.
And that's been a season-long trend for Maryland. Saunders leads the team in fouls with now 62. That's something that Buzz Williams has looked to tighten up, but it's just not emerged so far.
Fouls Bynum. First foul that goes against Elijah Saunders, and first against the Terps. 4-2 Maryland, less than 3 minutes in. No substitutions yet into this game for Maryland. That's pretty rare for Buzz Williams so far this month. Tilley spin move, right hand, it's good. Second made field goal for Ohio State, and the first for Christoph Tilley. It's tied at 4, 3 minutes in. That time just got the better of Colin Metcalf. Now his Terps on offense. Saunders to the right side with Darius Adams. Bounce pass back to Saunders. Now to left block. Colin Metcalf slams it home with 2 hands. Terps retake the lead, 6-4. Solomon Washington claps his hands defending Bruce Thornton. And the point guard passes it over. Straight away three-pointer. It's banked in by Tayson Chapman. Chapman comes in this game in place of John Mobley Jr. He's 6 a triple, 7-6 Ohio State. Solomon Washington back up top to Andre Mills. The point guard over to his small forward in Saunders. Swung back around to Washington, bounce pass into the paint with Saunders. Over to Mills with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Works on Chapman, left side with Adams. Working on Thornton's spin move. Pass out to Mills, straight away triple. Is short again. Defensive rebound goes to Ohio State and Christoph Tilley. Buckeyes bounce it from right to left. Here's again the mismatch. It's Royal on Andre Mills. The power forward puts up a floater, and he's fouled while he misses the shot. Goes a foul on Maryland's Colin Metcalf, his first of the game. Terps is second. Maryland trailing by 1, 7-6 Ohio State. 4 minutes and change into the first half. We'll be right back as you're listening to Maryland men's basketball on WMUC Sports.
Fans, scan the QR code on the screen for your chance to win a custom Maryland branded door, courtesy of our friends at Thompson Creek.
All right, Terps Nation, I got my 2 contestants out here on the court. Shin representing section 114, and my guy Andrew representing section 120. And they are today's contestants tonight. Sardi's foul shot shootout. This game is
Back at the Xfinity Center with 15:56 left to go in the first half. Maryland men's basketball trails Ohio State 7-6 at the free throw line. It's Ohio State's Devin Royal, and Royal, an 81% free throw shooter, is long in the first attempt. Terps so far today, 3 of 8 shooting. Ohio State's 3 of 5. Field goal percentage over 20% higher. Royal's second free throw swishes home. Buckeyes take a 2-point lead, 8-6 with 15:54 left to go in the first half. A couple of substitutions on the court. It's Maryland's Diggy Coit and George Turkson Jr. check into the game for Colin Metcalf, as well as Elijah Saunders. Those new faces, here's the Terps offensively. Solomon Washington on the right side with Darius Adams. Spin move at the right elbow. Freshman backs it up and passes to his point guard in Coit. Here's Coit into the paint, a floater with the left hand, it's good. Diggy gets it done on the first shot he puts up. Ties us at 8, 5 minutes in. Bruce Thornton brings it up, and now to the left side with Chapman. To the right elbow with Christoph Tilley. 7-foot center, lobs it up for Royal, has it at the right block, puts up a right layup, no, but it's gonna be a foul on Maryland's Diggy Coit. Coit's first of the game, Maryland's third, sends a Buckeye to the line for the second time tonight.
But I mean, even though it was only 2 points, Diggy Coit completely energized the student section, who are hearing some of the best numbers of the season for Blackout Night. And neither team is taking command, and it's going to be on Maryland to try and stay in it.
Second time to the line today for Royal, and he makes the first one, 9-8 Ohio State. And it's Diggy Coit, who's averaging close to 15 points per game, the highest among healthy Maryland players. Again, this is Pharrell Payne, who hasn't played since mid-December. He's still out with his 17 points per game, but Coit was in the starting lineup, now the first one off the bench. Second free throw for Royal is up, and it's good. Royal has all 4 of Ohio State's free throw attempts. He's 3 for 4. Buckeyes 10, Terps 8. 15 minutes, 4 seconds left in the first half. Terps with it offensively. 4 of 9 shooting, 0 for 4 from deep. Solomon Washington to Darius Adams on the right wing. Back to Coit up top. No dribbles for this Maryland team. Adams to Mills to Adams. Now he takes a dribble. Passes to Coit on the left wing. Long 3 from Diggy. Left side. It's short. Rebound goes to Ohio State. It's Ivan Negoivin who checks in for Tilley. Over to John Mobley Jr. He waves his right hand and calls out the play. Negoivin. Bounce pass to Thornton. Right side mid-range is pure. Bruce Thornton. Give him 4 points and a 12-8 Ohio State lead. Less than 6 minutes through. Left elbow with Washington. Over to the right corner where Darius Adams was open, but Diggy Coit just throws it out of bounds. First turnover in this game for Maryland, but that one could have been an open 3-pointer for Darius Adams.
I mean, we've just seen that Maryland have been so reliant on the passing game, and they have no margin for error here. They have to be incredibly precise to avoid turning it over. Right there, they slightly mess up, and it creates an Ohio State possession.
Adams checks out of the game for Maryland's Elijah Saunders. Ohio State 12, Maryland 8, officially 6 minutes through. Over the right side with Yegovin. Hands it off to Bruce Thornton, who's immediately fouled by George Turkson Jr. Those are the fouls you simply can't pick up if you're a guy like Turkson Jr. in Maryland.
And I mean, Turkson Jr. has had a tougher season, not what people expected, with the lowest rating on the team approaching -40, which is among the lowest in all of college ball. So this is someone who, when you have your minutes, you can't be giving away possessions like that.
Here's the quick substitutions now as it's Turkson Jr. who picks up his second foul, 4th Maryland team foul. Alex Alston and Colin Metcalf come into the game for Turkson Jr. and Andre Mills. A lot of quick substitutions, already 8 Terps on the floor, 6 minutes in. Here's Ohio State's Devin Royal on the right block. Has it taken away by Maryland's Alex Alston. Ping-pongs around for a little bit, and the referees will point Maryland's direction on the loose ball.
Alston has been a positive factor so far in 2026, and over half of the games this year, he has multiple rebounds, so he is giving Maryland something they've been lacking.
4-star freshman out of Chicago. He's back on the court, joined by Diggy Coit, Elijah Saunders, Solomon Washington, and Colin Metcalf. Diggy Coit straight away 3. That's short again. Rebound goes to Solomon Washington. Maryland keeps it offensively, but then the pass to Coit, it's stolen away by Chapman. A 2-on-2 break. Ohio State from right to left, and they'll stop with it. Chapman. Bounce pass inside to Royal. He's got the height advantage on Diggy Coit. Colin Metcalf brings a double team. Yagovin into the paint. Tries to put up a lefty layup, and it's going to be fouled quickly. That one's going to go against Alex Alston. These fouls just piling up. First one on Alston, 5th one on Maryland. It's a Terrapin team that's gone the last 2.5 minutes scoreless.
And when you're a Maryland team who needs all the momentum you can get, giving it away and not being able to build on any possessions has been biting them so far.
Out to the line, it's a Croatian. Ivan Yagovin, a 53% free throw shooter, puts the first one up and swishes it home. Just attempts 16 and 17 on the season for Yagovin. That's 7 foot 2 inches, the tallest Buckeye this season. He's really working to slow down the game, he said with his head coach Jake Diebler in the preseason. He's got Ohio State up to a 5-point lead after the first one is good. 5 long dribbles with the basketball, deep breath, and puts up the righty second shot. It swishes home for the 53% free throw shooter. He goes 2 for 2 and gives the Buckeyes a game-high 6-point lead, 14-8, with 13:10 left until halftime. There's Diggy Coit. 2 points, 0 of 2 from deep. Waves his right hand in front of his face twice. Calls out the play, passes over to Solomon Washington. Gives it to Alex Alston, who finds it back with Coit. Metcalf on the left elbow. Doesn't move his feet, now dribbles, passes to the right side with Solomon Washington. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Triple from Solomon. Air ball hits nothing. And this ball is back with the Buckeyes.
And I mean, the thing here, Ryan, is that these shots don't look bad in terms of form. It's just the high risk that Maryland are having to take because they're not establishing quality looks is really coming back to hurt them because they're taking these lower quality possessions, giving them away, and then letting Ohio State come right back.
You mentioned the shot selection for Maryland. Just hasn't hit home. 0 for 7 from deep. Terps can't get a bucket. Here's Ohio State. Devin Royal walks the baseline from left to right. Picks up his dribble. Right hand to left is swatted by Colin Metcalf. Offensive rebound goes to Mobley Jr. and the Buckeyes. Pass the left block with Tilly. Pump fake, layup is good, and the foul. That's been the case too many times today in this season for Maryland. You got a block like that on Metcalf, but then Ohio State gets the offensive rebound, and then an and-one opportunity for the Buckeyes at Tilly as Metcalf picks up his second foul, 6th team foul for the Terps.
I mean, if you're Ohio State, you don't even need to take 3-point shots because you can get this extra point whenever you go in the paint.
With 2 fouls, Metcalf checks out of the game. He did have that nice block. Andre Mills is back in as the Buckeyes already doubling up Maryland, 16-8, less than 8 minutes into this game. Christoph Tilly spins the basketball, goes for the and-one attempt. It's short. Defensive rebound cleaned up by Maryland's Solomon Washington. Hands it off to Diggy Coit. Again, this time he'll wave his left hand in front of his face. Does that twice and crosses it over to his left-handed dribble. Picks it up and gives it to Elijah Saunders, who finds it with Alex Alston. Here's the 4-star freshman. Out to Saunders on the right block. He's guarded by Ohio State's Devin Royal. To Coit. Royal switches on to Coit. Coit puts up the right-handed layup, and that's good. Shifty move from Diggy. Make it 16-10 Ohio State. Over to the right elbow with Tilly. Swung around to Thornton. Left corner triple. No good. 2 bounces off the rim. And it looked to be saved for a moment by Christoph Tilly. He then falls out of bounds on the end line with the ball. They're going to give the possession back to the Terps. Maryland down by 6, 16-10. With 11:28 left till halftime. We'll send this one to a quick break as you're listening to Maryland men's basketball on WMUC Sports.
Your Terrapins return to action Wednesday, February 11th at 6 p.m. as they take on the Iowa Hawkeyes. Host our Black History Month and our Tiki Terps Night. The first 2,000 students will receive a Hawaiian shirt, and the first 10,000 fans in the building will receive a leg. We'll see you right back here Wednesday at 6 p.m.
All right, Terps Nation, let's keep the party going, okay? I got my guy G-Man down here, and he's going to be participating in tonight's Terrapin Row half-court shot, baby. Okay, now the game is very simple. You have one shot. You get 3 chances. One of those shots go in. You get a VR headset, courtesy of Perry Rowe. So are you ready, my boy? All right.
Back at the Xfinity Center in College Park, Maryland. With 11 minutes, 28 seconds left till halftime. It's Maryland men's basketball trailing by 6 against Ohio State. Buckeyes 16, Terps 10. And here with you for this one, Ryan Martin alongside Adam Lipman with our sideline reporter now, Jack Zwirn. Jack, it's been foul trouble all season long and through the first 9.5 minutes for Maryland.
Yeah, here tonight, Maryland's hoping to get a back-to-back victories on blackout night. However, a 5 of 13 start from the floor plus 0 of 7 from 3 is not helping. They have 6 fouls in 8.5 minutes of play as well. Unfortunately for this Maryland team, the fouls have been commonplace this season. 5 of their last 7 games, they've had at least 19 fouls. But it's not like they're the only ones. Ohio State in 4 straight games, they've had at least 19 fouls. So both of these squads fouling a lot coming into tonight. However, Maryland up to 6 already, whereas Ohio with just 1.
And that's been a big problem for the Terps, especially when you look at some of the guys who already have multiple fouls, especially in that front court when you got to guard guys like Christoph Tilly, like an Ivan Nagoyevin, 2 7-footers. And you look at the fouls, already 2 fouls for the starting center, Colin Metcalf, 2 fouls for George Turkson Jr. It's just tough to defend when you got to take some seats on the bench.
Yeah, and Elijah Saunders, he has 1 as well here tonight, but in the last game against Purdue, he fouled out. So a key piece for Maryland committing all these fouls is just not a recipe for success. Maryland's going to have to figure out a way to change that if they want to become victorious here tonight. And I mean, the season, it's all but lost in terms of like Big Ten tournament, March Madness hopes, but maybe some stepping stones for a great season next year potentially, and it all starts with the fouls.
Got 8 more games to go, a lot to play for if you're Maryland, but you got to be able to stay on the court as well. That's our sideline reporter, Jack Zwirn, with the latest, talking about a little foul troubles seen here at the Xfinity Center. Jack, thanks so much for your work, as always. 11:28 left in the first half, here from the Xfinity Center in College Park. Maryland men's basketball trailing Ohio State 16-10. The Buckeyes having their way so far, makers of 5 of its last 7 shots, point-scoring leaders so far. 4 points for Maryland's Diggy Coit, 4 for Bruce Thornton in that point guard battle. Ohio State goes from right to left and inbounds it under their own shooting hoop, up by 6. Pass gets over to John Mobley Jr. Here's their 3-point specialist. The right side with the newly checked in Gabe Cups. Mobley Jr. into the paint with Royal. He falls to the ground on a loose ball. Bounce pass outside. Left wing 3 for Mobley Jr. It's good. Ohio State up to its largest lead so far today. A 9-point cushion, 19-10 Buckeyes 9 minutes in. Terps have yet to make a 3 today. 0 for 7 from there. 38% shooting overall. Alex Alston to Elijah Saunders. The Terp puts up a shot and banks it off. A mid-range jumper on the left side. Ohio State 19, Maryland 12. Christoph Tilly into the paint, and he 2-hand slams over Elijah Saunders. Oh, that's going to be on a highlight reel.
I mean, what a way to respond right there, Ryan. Give up 2, get the dunk right there.
Buckeyes up 21-12. That's again a 9-point lead. Diggy Coit backs up towards the red Maryland M's, centered right into the front of the hardwood. Pass to the left mid-range with Elijah Saunders. Pass it to Diggy Coit, but it's stolen away by John Mobley Jr. to Christoph Tilly. And the finger roll finish is good from the Buckeye. It causes a timeout call for Buzz Williams. Well, just like that, it's Ohio State up to its first double-digit lead thanks to the steal and score by Christoph Tilly. 23-12 Buckeyes, a 11-point deficit for the Terps with 10:07 left in the first half. We'll pick it up in just a moment from College Park. So we're back after our second timeout in 70 seconds of gameplay. It's Maryland men's basketball down 23-12, an 11-point deficit with 10 minutes left in the first half. Terps call a timeout, now move from left to right out of the inbound. Freshman Guillermo Del Pino dribbles it on the left side. The guard checks in for the first time today. Darius Adams and Elijah Saunders, his right corner triple is good. On the 8th attempt, Maryland finally has a three. It's from Elijah Saunders and cuts it to an 8-point deficit. There's Gabe Cupps for Ohio State as the Buckeyes work from right to left. Tilley to Mobley Jr. He walks into the paint and walks out. Left corner triple. Can't get it to match. Offensive rebound cleaned up by Devin Royal. His second chance opportunity, that misses as well. And then a couple of players tip it around. It'll go off of Maryland's Darius Adams. So keep it with Ohio State offensively. Another opportunity for the Buckeyes, leading 23-15 with 9:25 left until half.
And although Ohio State already has an 8-point lead here, Maryland are just trying to find a defensive stop for the first time.
Inbound pass to Mobley Jr. His right corner three is good. That's not the stop that you were asking for, Adam. It's Ohio State with its third triple and goes back up by 11, 26-15. There's Guillermo Del Pino out of Cordoba, Spain. Pass it over to his classmate in Darius Adams. Now Elijah Saunders at the right elbow. UVA transfer. Dribbles it out to the left side, and he'll be fouled by Ohio State's Gabe Cupps. As Saunders looked to get it to Guillermo Del Pino. First personal that goes against Gabe Cupps. Just the second team foul going against Ohio State, Adam. That's 2 fouls for the Buckeyes, 6 for the Terps.
I mean, Maryland have just not been able to build momentum. They haven't been able to stop Ohio State after Maryland have scored. They haven't been able to stop with the fouls.
Inbound goes to Guillermo Del Pino. He finds a cutting Darius Adams atop the key. Takes the high left screen from Colin Metcalf. Now works into the paint. Picks up his dribble, and he'll be fouled again. We'll see who that one goes against. As Buzz Williams picks up the loose basketball and chucks it cross court. It's his second straight foul that goes against the redshirt sophomore Gabe Cupps for Ohio State. His second overall, third for the Buckeyes. Now Maryland inbound on the near right side, trailing by 11 with 8:49 till half. Inbound goes to Maryland's Colin Metcalf. There's immediately a loose ball for it, and the arrow points Maryland's way on the jump. After that, Metcalf checks out of the game in favor of George Turkson Jr. Terps to inbound again. Alex Olson will set up on that same spot on the near right sideline. Inbounds it to George Turkson Jr. Gets it to Guillermo Del Pino on the left side with the Terps trailing by 11. Maryland's made each of its last 3 shots though. They have a fourth with Solomon Washington on the right side. Waves his left hand and calls out the play. Calls an ISO on Devin Royal. Washington into the paint, righty layup. Can't drop, but the foul goes against Ohio State's Devin Royal. And Solomon Washington will become the first Terp to get to the line.
So a welcome development for the Terps, who have been exclusively watching Ohio State shoot from the line. Now they get a chance here, and they're going to just need it to build any kind of momentum and chip away at this deficit.
It's an 11-point hole, 26-15 lead for Ohio State. As Maryland finally gets to the free throw line with Solomon Washington. Washington, a 67% free throw shooter, takes one dribble, spins it in his hands, and his righty shot switches home. Terps still down by 10. This is going to be a big problem, though, Adam, if Maryland keeps taking so long to get to the line. In that 30-point loss to Purdue on Sunday, it took the Terps 10 minutes to get to the free throw line, and today, 11 and a half until that first trip. There's a second free throw attempt for Solomon Washington. Ohio State already 5 for 7 today from the stripe. Texas A&M transfer puts up the second free throw. It's short, and the rebound goes to Ohio State and Amari Bynum. Buckeyes work from right to left, still up by 10. Bruce Thornton points with his left hand and calls out the play. Gets to Christoph Tilley on the right wing. Back over to Thornton atop the key. Works on Solomon Washington to the left side. Three-pointer is up, and it's off the front of the rim for Colin White. Defensive rebound goes for Maryland. Here's Darius Adams on the left side. Adams puts up a layup, and it goes off of Adams. A block, and then a touch by Adams. This one's going to be Ohio State's ball. Buckeyes still up 10.
what was almost an energizing moment for this Maryland crowd instead just turns into another Ohio State possession. Maryland have not been able to get out of their own way today.
We'll call it a turnover. 4th of the game for Maryland to Ohio State's 2. Reason why the Buckeyes up by 10. Bruce Thornton into the paint. Easy right-handed layup is good. No one in his way. Brings the Ohio State lead back up to 12. 28-16 Buckeyes. 7:40 left until the break. 3 freshmen on the court for Maryland. Here's one of them, and Darius Adams back up to his classmate and Guillermo Del Pino. There's the experience with Solomon Washington. On the right block, Washington puts up the layup. It can't go, but a foul, and we'll have free throws after the media timeout. Buckeyes up to their largest lead. It's a 12-point cushion for Ohio State. 28-16 Ohio State with 7:30 left in the first half. That's where we'll pick it up next as you're listening to Maryland men's basketball on WMUC Sports.
Maryland Athletics would like to thank tonight's game sponsor, Terrapin Row, proud partner of Maryland Athletics, for their partnership. Thanks to Terrapin Row for their continued support of Maryland Athletics.
Back-to-back games where it takes like 11 minutes to run.
Hey fans, please welcome to the court Maddie Komorowski and the Maryland gymnastics team. Last season, Maddie became the NCAA Regional Beam Champion with a score of 9.950. Let's give a big round of applause for Maddie and the gymnastics team. You can catch her and the rest of the number 24 gym terms in action right here on the Xfinity Center main court this Saturday at 6 p.m. as they take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. We can't wait to see you here.
All right, Terms Nation. I know our gym terms can flip, can jump, and go up high in the sky. But can they throw? Well, we about to find out, because it's time for the T-shirt toss, baby. If you want a T-shirt, let me hear you say yeah!
Bringing it back to you at the Xfinity Center in College Park, Maryland. Maryland men's basketball has been bounced around so far by the Ohio State Buckeyes. It's a game-high 12-point lead for Ohio State, 28-16, with 7:30 left to go in the first half. Back alongside Adam Lipman, I'm Ryan Martin with you here for WMUC Sports. Appreciate you staying up with us late on a Thursday night. Here's Solomon Washington. After the foul, he'll head to the free throw line for free throw attempts. 3 and 4 today. His first one on this trip, bounces off the rim twice and drops down. Washington, still a 68% free throw shooter. That's his second point today and makes this an 11-point deficit for the Terps. Problem for Maryland, getting into early holes recently. Second free throw is good as well. Ohio State 28, Maryland 18, as the clock runs down to less than 7.5 minutes until halftime. Bruce Thornton works from right to left for Ohio State, puts up a righty layup, and it's going to be another foul against the Terps. We'll see who this one's on with 7:21 until halftime.
I mean, Ohio State have had such a high floor today because even if these possessions are not going their way, which has been rare for the Maryland defense to stop them, they still pick up the foul. They can get these extra points that Maryland are unable to pick up, exclusively being in the paint.
So here's Bruce Thornton to the line for the first time today. An 84% free throw shooter. He'll miss the first one. Into the game for Maryland comes Washington State transfer Isaiah Watts. He replaces Guillermo Del Pino in the backcourt. That's the 10th player into this game already for Maryland, less than 13 minutes in. Thornton's second free throw misses as well. It's still a 10-point Ohio State lead though. Here come the Terps in the alternate black uniforms from left to right. Andre Mills into the paint. Lefty dunk is good. Oh, that's how you get a Thursday night crowd fired up. Andre Mills goes over the 7'2" Ivan Yagovin. And if Maryland's still down by 8, this place has some energy. Pass to Yagovin. At the free throw line, he works on Solomon Washington. At the right block, his layup is too strong. Rebound goes offensively for Colin White, and he puts in the second chance bucket. Ohio State 30, Maryland 20. Pass to Elijah Saunders at the right elbow. To the right little block. His layup is missed. And a loose ball goes around in every direction. And they'll say an Ohio State Buckeye was the last to touch. Keep it with the Terps. As Adam, this place finally feels like it's going a little bit after that Mills ferocious slam.
I mean, Mills really brought the crowd back into it, which is something that's been on and off for Maryland today, even with this great blackout night crowd. Can they get them into it and chip away at a 10-point deficit?
Isaiah Watts inbounds it on the far left side and gets it into Darius Adams. He takes a high screen from George Cherkson Jr. Back over to Mills. To the left block with Solomon Washington. He works on Yagovin. Works to the right side of the paint now. Crossover with 4 seconds on the shot clock. Washington right-handed layup is good. That's a tough finish from Solo. Ohio State up 30-22 with the final 6 minutes until the break. Mobley Jr. works on Darius Adams as the Buckeyes work it from right to left. Yagovin into the paint. He took an extra step. It goes as a travel against Ohio State, and all 5 Terrapins in their black uniforms whirl their arms around, making the travel signal to make sure Yagovin knows about it.
And quite the pivotal call. Thornton did make the three-point shot, so that would have been a tough moment for Maryland, who were trying to fight their way back after things slipped away in the middle of this first half.
Buzz Williams in his 3-piece suit, black leather shoes, painting on the hardwood, calls out the play for his freshman point guard Darius Adams. Work to the right side with Solomon Washington, guarded by Mobley Jr., so he has the height advantage. Washington goes up for a righty layup at the right block. He's stripped away by Mobley Jr. And they're going to say it goes out of bounds with Washington the last one to touch it. That gives Ohio State possession with 5:39 on the first half clock. Inbound to Bruce Thornton as Maryland brings the half-court press. High screen from Devin Royal. And Buckeyes break it as it's with John Mobley Jr. Mobley Jr. into the paint on the left side. Puts up a layup. It's blocked and saved in play by George Cherkson Jr. Here's a Terps fast break from left to right. Maryland will slow things down. Darius Adams puts his right hand on his face and calls out the play at the left wing. From Washington to Mills, it's work to the right side. Back to Washington. Back to Mills as those two play pass. George Cherkson Jr. sets up at the left elbow with the ball. Over to Isaiah Watts, his first touch in this game. To Darius Adams, 3 seconds on the shot clock. His left corner 3 is too strong. Gets his own offensive rebound. Fresh 20 seconds on the shot clock, and Adams will dribble it back out atop the key. Buckeyes up by 8, 30-22. Bounce pass inside to Watts. The whistle gets blown before Watts puts up the lefty layup.
And the nickname for Solomon Washington that you mentioned earlier, Ryan, Solo, has really been a great description of this Maryland offense, getting picked off by 1. And I mean, Washington has been making the most of these opportunities, but these are slim margin of error, high precision moments that guys like Darius Adams, a freshman, is not always able to find.
Goes as a foul on Devin Royal, his 3rd in Ohio State's 6th. Buckeyes are in the bonus as Maryland has 17 fouls. Here's Isaiah Watts with it offensively for Maryland. Work to the left side with Darius Adams. He backs up on Bruce Thornton. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Adams straight away, triple is good, and the foul. Darius Adams, his first 3 points in this game, but the freshman fires up the Xfinity Center. This is a 5-point game with Adams heading to the line.
Presented by the Robert H. Smith School of Business +1 program.
So Darius Adams, consensus 5-star, 74% free throw shooter. Let's give the Terps their first and one today, and he does just that. 4-point play for Darius Adams, and now only a 4-point deficit for the Terps. Ohio State 30, Maryland 26, with 4:26 left until halftime. All of a sudden, Maryland doesn't want to go to the locker rooms. 6-0 run that gives the Xfinity Center some energy. Bruce Thornton, 2-time All-Big Ten selection, dribbles it into the paint for the Buckeyes. Picks up his dribble, pass outside. Tilly 3-pointer, that's good.
3-point basket for Christoph Tilly.
And you can hear the booming voice of PA announcer Matt Noble. This place goes silent after that triple from Tilly. Makes it, again, a 7-point Ohio State lead. Adams to the left wing with Mills. Now into Colin Metcalf. Adams works on Chapman. He has it stolen away. Here's Chapman. A 1-on-2 break to Mobley Jr. on the right side. Pass inside to Bynum. Two-handed flush. Ohio State goes back up by 9. 35-26. 3:30 left until the break. Pass inside to Maryland's Darius Adams. Terps lose possession again. This one is another steal by Chapman. Up top to Mobley Jr. Right-handed layup is blocked away by Solomon Washington. Tilly gets the offensive rebound for Ohio State. Now a straightaway triple from Bynum. That one misses too. Colin Metcalf keeps it in play for the Terrapins. And it goes off of Christoph Tilly. He tries to keep it in play, but spikes it right on the near end line. We're going back and forth. Maryland showing some offense, and the freshman Darius Adams, he's feeling it with the 4-point play. Ohio State 35, Maryland 26. It's a 9-point Terrapin trail. 3 minutes, 11 seconds left until halftime. You're going to want to keep it right here as you're listening to Maryland men's basketball on WMUC Sports. Back at the Xfinity Center with 3:11 left until half. Maryland men's basketball trailing Ohio State by 9. A 35-26 lead for the Buckeyes as both offenses get going in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Adam, this was at largest a 12-point lead for Ohio State. That gets cut down to 4 a couple minutes ago thanks to the 4-point play by Darius Adams.
I mean, both of these teams have been living up to their scouting reports recently. Ohio State had been accused of taking their foot off the gas a little bit, and they really responded with 5 unanswered.
Wonder if this was on the Ohio State scouting report. A half-court press, but Maryland breaks it from left to right. Pass to the right block with Colin Metcalf. Out to Isaiah Watts. Terps trailing by 9 on what's been a tough season for Maryland. 8-13 on the campaign, 1-9 in conference play. 3 straight losses by an average of 30 points. Solomon Washington with 4 seconds on the shot clock. At the right block, puts up a layup and gets it off the glass. Flexes as he runs back on defense. Turns it into a 7-point game. 35-28 Ohio State, 2:35 left until the break. Bruce Thornton works it from right to left for Ohio State in their road red uniforms. That's with Christoph Tilley. Dribble handoff to John Meckley Jr. and a pass to Tilley on the low left block. Tilley's right-handed layup is short. Defensive rebound cleaned up by Solomon Washington. It's his 4th rebound. Now the Terps work it from left to right. Here's Diggy Coit at the left wing. Thinks about a step back 3. Instead, it's passed over to Andre Mills. Coit can have the Xfinity Center going crazy with a shot, but passed it over to Solomon Washington. Washington on the right wing. Terps are taking a lot of time off the shot clock. 5 seconds on the clock. Washington puts the shoulder down, and that's a charge on Maryland's big man. For Washington, that's his first personal foul, 8th team foul. And it's just Bynum who took the contact, set the feet at the low left block, and gets the foul against Maryland's Washington. Both teams showing a half-court press. Ohio State brings it up with a 7-point lead in the final 2 minutes of the first half. Tilley, spin move on the right side, layup blocked away by Colin Metcalf. Metcalf has manhandled a couple of those finger roll finishes. He sends that one onto the near left sideline with Ohio State's to inbound.
Only making his 2nd start of the season, Metcalf has responded and shown more today than he had all season entering this game.
Metcalf was top 10 in the country with over 2 blocks per game last year at Northeastern. He's got 2 now today. Mobley Jr. over to Chapman for Ohio State. Mobley Jr. with 2 seconds on the clock to Chapman. Left corner 3 is good. Beats the shot clock buzzer. Puts Ohio State back up by 10. It's a 38-28 lead for the Buckeyes. Maryland can play the clock now. 1:08 left on the game clock for this first half. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Washington in the paint, back out top to Andre Mills. Points with his right hand twice and calls out the play. Gives it to Solomon Washington. Pass back over to Andre Mills. It's tipped around, and it will last go off of Maryland's Washington. Ohio State forces another turnover. That goes as the 9th against Maryland. Ohio State has a 3rd of that, just 3. Points off turnover battle, also won by Ohio State, 11-0. Maryland's Buzz Williams wants to fix that, so he takes out Colin Metcalf and brings back in George Turkson Jr. Final minute in this first half. Bruce Thornton from right to left. His righty layup is good. Keeps the shot clock on for Maryland, who now trails by 12. Shot clock 11 seconds ahead of the game clock. Andre Mills to Isaiah Watts. Straight away for a Terrapin team that's made 7 of its last 9 shots. Diggy Coit. Step back on the right wing. Won't put up a shot though. Instead, pass over to Andre Mills. Over to Solomon Washington with 7 seconds on the shot clock, 17 on the game clock. Washington into the paint. Tries to finish it with 2 hands. He's going to be fouled while missing the layup. Shot clock turns off with 13.1 on the game clock. Ohio State up 40-28.
We've seen that for Maryland. They need to play nearly flawless basketball or draw Ohio State fouls to try and come back. Can they reach 30 before this first half comes to a close?
Foul goes on Ohio State's Bynum. That's his first 8th team foul for the Buckeyes. First free throw for Washington. Swishes home. Gives Solomon Washington 8 points, 4 of 5 from the line. As Elijah Saunders comes in for Diggy Coit, and Colin Metcalf will check in for George Turkson Jr. Quick substitutions. It's been the theme all season for Maryland's Buzz Williams. Playing through his Texas A&M transfer, and Solomon Washington, who followed him from College Station. Washington's 6th free throw attempt of the game is good. Make him 5 for 6. He has 6 of Maryland's 7 attempts. Terps trail by 10 in the final 10 seconds until halftime. Thornton Jr. takes the high right screen from Tilley into the paint. Gets caught up for a second. And we'll see what the whistle goes with 3.5 seconds left on the game clock. Moments away from halftime with the Buckeyes up 40-30. They'll call it on Maryland's Isaiah Watts, his first personal 9th team foul against Maryland. So that sends Bruce Thornton to the line.
Bruce Thornton shooting 1 and 1.
A 1-and-1 attempt for Bruce Thornton. 5th most points per game in the Big Ten with 20. And today became the 5th Buckeye ever to reach 1,900 career points. His first free throw takes 2 bounces off the iron and drops down. Thornton played Maryland twice last year. At Ohio State, he had 31 points, his most in a conference game. But here at Maryland, 9 points was his conference low. His second free throw swishes home. Buckeyes up 42-30. 2 seconds on the first half clock. Diggy Coit puts up one from half court, but it's blocked away by Ohio State's John Mobley Jr. Well, it's been back and forth a little bit, but after 20 minutes of play, Ohio State still up to its game-high 12-point lead. It hit that mark a few times in the first half. Buckeyes 42, Maryland 30. Can the Terps climb back from the first half deficit? Well, you're going to want to keep it right here. It's halftime in College Park. And we'll step aside as you're listening to Maryland men's basketball on WMUC Sports. Halftime show up deck in just a moment.
Get close to the action this basketball season with Xfinity, a proud sponsor of the Terps and your home for the most live sports. At this time, we direct your attention to the court. Here's Jordan Johnson, Manager of Partnership Services of Maryland Sports
welcome you back to Maryland men's basketball here on WMUC Sports. The Ohio State Buckeyes leading it after the first half 42-30 as we're in the midst of the halftime show featuring Red Panda. I'm joined alongside our sideline reporter Jack Zwirn, who has noticed some things about Ohio State through the first half.
Yeah, but before I get to that, I want to take a brief moment to talk about the incredibleness that is the Red Panda Act. She was here last year. You could hear the crowd roar for every time she throws those bowls up on top of her head. She was here last year. She came back this year. She's an incredible halftime performer, and it's good to have her back after an injury while performing at a WNBA game last year. But going to the Ohio State side of things, 3 players on this Ohio State team have led the way last year against Maryland and are doing so again today. Those 3 players are Thornton, Mobley Jr., and Royal. They have experience against the Terps. Maybe not be a same Terps squad as last year, but they have experience against the Terps. They scored 88 of 132 combined points in their 2 matchups against each other last season. That is about 2/3. Tonight they've accounted for 19 of the 42 points for Ohio State, and they're looking to lead Ohio State Buckeyes to just their 2nd ever victory at the Xfinity Center. One other player I did not mention there, however, is the point leader in today's game for the Buckeyes, and that is Christoph Tilly, the senior out of Berlin, Germany. He leads the team with 11 points here tonight. He averages 11.7, so he's just about to increase that number. He needs 1 more basket to bring that average points up, and he's been leading the way for the Buckeyes alongside Thornton, Mobley Jr., and Royal here tonight, Adam.
And Jack, as I was watching Red Panda, I saw the one wheel of that unicycle, that very tall unicycle, and the number 1 has really been the story of this game. That's how many players Maryland has on an offensive play at a time. They've been getting picked off and forced in one-on-one situations, which some players have made the most of. Solomon Washington leading the way in that regard. Then for Ohio State, they have been thinking solo because they've been focused on that extra point they get from fouls, which have allowed them to pad a lead that you could think would be tighter right now going into the second half. They have been relying on Maryland's uncharacteristic 2 for 11 performance from beyond the arc, which is hard to sustain just because of natural variance, Jack. And then you have to think about the fact that Maryland have generated 0 points off of turnovers. That is unsustainable. That's not something you would have expected to see this season. So are the Buckeyes firmly in command of this game? Yes, they are with this 12-point lead up 42-30. However, their performance has not seemed to be that of a 42-point in the first half team. So the question I really think we have going into the second half, can Ohio State keep their foot on the gas? We've seen how they respond to moments where Maryland energized this blackout night crowd. Can Ohio State finish off this game, build up enough of a lead early in the second half to close it out and seal this win?
Yeah, you mentioned a couple things that I want to highlight on the side of Maryland. I talked about the fouls problems earlier. Maryland with 9 in that first half. And the other thing I want to say, you mentioned the 2 of 11 from 3 and how uncharacteristic that is. Well, at the beginning of the season, that was this Maryland team. They were struggling to hit the 3-point shot. They were able to somewhat fix it as we got to the middle of the season, and whatever happened, we don't know. They're really struggling here tonight, 18% from beyond the arc. When you struggle that much from beyond the arc, it's hard to sustain those points, like you said.
And I mean, I think it's mostly about these low-quality possessions that Maryland has because they have been passing like they're passing the hot potato, Jack. I mean, the amount of precision they need on the simplest of offensive plays is alarming for when you look at an Ohio State team that's comfortable, can create multiple kinds of looks, and you sometimes wonder, wow, these teams are really in the same conference right now. It's quite jarring to watch both of these teams on offense. Ohio State in command, but not dominant, and Maryland fleeting and possibly done with.
Yeah, and one surprise on the side of Maryland is the virtual absence of Diggy Coit. He's played just 9 minutes thus far today, on pace for which would be his lowest total since November 26th against Alabama. With the Terps not able to, with the Coit not in for the Terps, that's their main source of offense these past many games. And if he's not on the court to generate that offense, the Terps have been struggling without him.
Terps have been relying on new personnel like Colin Metcalf, who you were talking about Tilly earlier, Jack. That's who he was picking off for Maryland. So we're going to have to see what adjustments Buzz Williams can make as the second half is just 1 minute away. We will be right back on WMUC Sports.
Here with you out of halftime in College Park, Maryland men's basketball trailing Ohio State 42-30. That's a game-high 12-point lead for the Buckeyes. Ohio State hit it a couple times in that first half. The score was even as close as 4 with 2.5 minutes until the break, but the Buckeyes build it back up, leading by double digits. Back alongside Adam Lipman and with our sideline reporter Jack Zwirn, I'm Ryan Martin saying thanks so much for staying up with us here on a Thursday night. It's a late tip, the latest on the East Coast this year for Maryland. 8:30 start time between the Buckeyes and the Terrapins. So far, your early leaders, Solomon Washington with 9 points and 4 rebounds. Done it on an inefficient 2 of 5 shooting. Here's Ohio State in the road red uniforms, going from left to right. Start with the inbound. We'll go with Christoph Tilly. Over to Devin Royal. He has 3 fouls already to his name. On this first possession of the second half to Bruce Thornton. Into the paint, mid-range jumper. It rattles around and in. Thornton moves up to 12 points. Buckeyes up by 14. Maryland works it from right to left now. Terrapins' first possession of this second half. Pass gets tipped out, and it's Maryland's Colin Metcalf who rushes to the floor. He falls on it, and the Terrapins call a timeout. 41 seconds in, it's a 30-second timeout by Buzz Williams and company. Maryland down 44-30. We'll be right back as you're listening to Maryland men's basketball on WMUC Sports.
All right, Terps Nation, it's time for the Show Your CQ Card contest, all right? This one's real simple. All you gotta do is reach in your pocket
Back at the Xfinity Center, 41 seconds into the second half. Maryland men's basketball trails Ohio State 44-30. On a loose ball, Terrapins' Colin Metcalf fell on it. So Maryland first-year head coach Buzz Williams calls a timeout. Now it's set to inbound with Elijah Saunders in front of the scoring table. Here are the Terps in their alternate black uniforms on a blackout from right to left. Elijah Saunders, right wing three, is good. Saunders sinks it for Maryland. Third three of this game for the Terps. Still an 11-point deficit for the Terps, too. Here comes John Mobley Jr. in his bright green neon shoes. Bounce pass left side, Tilly! A dunk attempt is missed. Unsure if Colin Metcalf got a piece of it for Maryland. It screams off the iron, and they're going to call it a third personal foul on Colin Metcalf. First team foul in his first half for Maryland. And Adam, Tilly for Ohio State and Metcalf for Maryland, they've been jumping every time, and each guy had no fear on that attempt.
And I mean, that's just a dynamic moment as Tilly prepares to take the shot here. These two centers squaring off like you said, and Tilly has been getting the advantage so far today.
At 7 feet tall, Tilly's a 75% free throw shooter. He misses his second of the day. He had a missed three-point play earlier. Now the German misses his second. Tilly's got 11 points after having 0 points on 0 of 8 shooting at Wisconsin. And on this trip, he goes to 0 for 2 from the line. Make him 0 for 3 on the day. So here comes Darius Adams in Maryland. Terrapins move it up the timeline from right to left. Down by 11 to Ohio State. Colin Metcalf at the right elbow. Picks up his dribble. Doesn't have a teammate. Now has it on the right side with Darius Adams. Over to Elijah Saunders. He's backing down Thornton. How is a mid-range jumper? That one's pure. Elijah Saunders up to a team-high 12 points. Terps still trail by 9. Comes Ohio State less than 2 minutes into the second half. Buckeye head coach Jake Diebler in the full suit and tie has got his hands on his hips as John Mobley Jr. passes it up to Tilly for the Buckeyes. Over to Amari Bynum. He works on Elijah Saunders. Back out and stolen by Solomon Washington. But then a pass up ahead to Darius Adams goes dribbling towards Maryland's bench. It's out of bounds and back with the Buckeyes.
And we've seen from Maryland, shooting has gone more in their favor. And during the halftime break, Jack Zwirn and I were talking about how it's just so unlikely that their poor shooting luck in the first half would continue just because of natural variance. You know, this team has struggled with shooting, as Jack mentioned, early in the season. But they've turned it around so far the second half.
And the turnovers are what's been turning it around too for Ohio State. Both teams shooting 54% or better, but Maryland has 10 turnovers to Ohio State's 4. Here are the Buckeyes on offense. Tilly works on Maryland's Metcalf at the low right block. Puts the left shoulder into it. Passes it inside to Bynum. Is it stolen away by Maryland's Washington? No, he got a piece of it, but it goes out of bounds on the near right sideline. So it'll be Ohio State's to inbound. Buckeyes up 44-39. 2.5 minutes into the second half. It's Bruce Thornton, the inbounder for Ohio State, with 9 seconds on the Buckeye shot clock. Claps the ball with his left hand and passes it cross court all the way to Devin Royal. Here's Royal into the paint. Stopped, step back jumper at the left elbow. That swishes home. Ohio State has been near perfect with the shot clock winding down. They do it again to the tune of an 11-point lead. Ohio State's led by as much as 14 a couple minutes ago. Maryland looking to change that. Here's Elijah Saunders. Former UVA forward passes it over to Darius Adams. Gives it to Andre Mills. On the right side again with Adams. He waves his right hand forward, telling his Terrapin teammates to move. Saunders. Pass to the right block with Washington. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Washington puts the left shoulder in, throws the ball up with his right hand. It goes off the glass, no good. Defensive rebound goes to Devin Royal, and then Colin Metcalf picks up a foul trying to go for the loose ball. Can't have that happen if you're the Terps.
And I mean, the inexperience playing time this season, this is only Metcalf's second starting game, and he has been getting picked off all game, and that's been allowing Tilly to have success and for all these turnovers to come the way of the Buckeyes.
4th personal foul for Colin Metcalf, 2nd team foul for Maryland. So it's Metcalf who has to head to the bench, and And in comes George Turkson Jr. Going to get an off-ball foul. Looks like it'll be against Maryland as Royal was hung up on an off-ball screen. It does go as Andre Mills. Mills' second personal foul, third team foul. Doesn't help a Maryland team down 46-35, 3.5 minutes out of halftime. Mobley Jr. has it atop the key for Ohio State. Now to the left block with Tilly. Back out to Royal, and he took a step before he dribbled. Hasn't been the day so far for Ohio State's Andre Bynum. Gives him now 3 fouls and a third turnover. Maryland with possession. Terps team that's had 3 straight losses by an average of 30 points. Looking to clean it up. Because of lackluster offense like this, everyone's standing around. I saw in Washington has it on the top right wing. Back up to Darius Adams, 8 seconds on the shot clock. Waves his right hand, clearing out George Turkson Jr. for a one-on-one with Elijah Saunders. Double team comes, pass inside, it's stolen away. Up top to Christoph Tilly. A 1-on-2 break, slows it down, takes the contact. His layup is no good, but Tilly is heading back to the line for the 3rd time today.
And Maryland have just not been able to get going in this second half as we get ready for another timeout.
They'll take it right here as Maryland's gone 2.5 minutes scoreless. Terps trailing by 11, 46-35 with 15:55 left to go in regulation. Keep it right here with Maryland men's basketball, broadcasting on WMUC Sports.
And for our national championship team, Utah.
From the out of bounds to the freshman queen who's driving, floats it. Nixon fires it up to the top of the Georgia ballroom, and the kids have done it.
Back with you at the Xfinity Center in College Park. The Maryland State flag has been draped and dropped over the student section that sits on the west baseline here at the Xfinity Center. Happens with 15:54 left on the second half clock. Maryland men's basketball down 46-35 to Ohio State. the Buckeyes that send Christoph Tilley to the right side free throw line. His first free throw is up and good for his 12th point today. Tilley's first made free throw after missing his first 3 straight, the senior from Berlin, Germany. Transfer from Santa Clara puts up his second free throw, swishes that one home too, points directly at his second-year Buckeye head coach, Jake Diebler. Wonder if Diebler gave him some confidence during that media timeout. Whatever it did, it helped Ohio State get up to a now 13-point lead, 48-35 Buckeyes, as Maryland brings it up the timeline from right to left. Still 15 minutes and change left to go in this game. And the Terps make this a single-digit deficit once more. They did it right before halftime. George Cherkson Jr. at the right elbow for Maryland. Dribbles backwards. Now gets it to Darius Adams. Takes the right screen from Cherkson Jr. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Left wing 3 from Saunders is missed. Rebound goes to Bruce Thornton. Here come the Buckeyes in their road red uniforms from left to right. Thornton takes himself coast to coast. Righty layup drops in. Ohio State the first one to 50 and do so with a 15-point lead with 15 minutes left in this game. Buzz Williams jumps in place as he jumps over the scorer's table, jumping up and down. Andre Mills takes it in on the right side. He's fouled on a layup attempt. His head coach can't believe it. And Buzz Williams not seeing the offense that he wants as his Texas A&M transfer Mills heads to the free throw line.
I mean, Ryan, we entered this game saying that Maryland are trying to prove that those last 2 games against Michigan State and Purdue were outliers and not a trend. They're looking like a trend tonight, down by 15 already.
2 free throws for Andre Mills, a 70% free throw shooter, bends the knees and misses the first free throw. Mills celebrated his 21st birthday on Friday and then showed it off with one of his best performances on the year 3 days later. Had a team high 18 points and 6 rebounds against Purdue in what ended up being a 30-point loss for Maryland. Now 21-year-old takes 3 dribbles, spins the basketball, his second free throw, swishes. Mills splits him at the line. Score goes to Ohio State 50, Maryland 36. Terps bring a full court press in year 5 on the court for Maryland as Diggy Coit, Andre Mills, Solomon Washington, Elijah Saunders, and George Cherkson Jr. Ohio State breaks the press. Thornton Jr. pass off to the right block with Tilley. His righty layup is easy. Ohio State goes back up by 16, 52-36. Diggy Coit with it offensively for Maryland. Spun to the left side. 3 from Mills is good from the left corner. Andre Mills makes his first 3 on his 3rd attempt. Terps cut the deficit to 13. Been pretty comparable shooting as another 3 from Mobley Jr. That's a matching one for Ohio State. Both teams shooting over 50%. That 3 puts Ohio State over 60%. Gives them another 16-point lead. Difference has been the 3s. 29% for Maryland as Diggy Coit tries a left wing 3. It's good. That'll help it out. A 60% 3-point shooting for Ohio State.
Maryland may have figured out something here with creating 3-point looks. Now the question is, can their defense respond as well? Because they have a 13-point deficit to chip away at, and these shots are encouraging, but not if Ohio State can respond right away.
Tilley into the paint for Ohio State, working from left to right. Mobley Jr., does he have another 3? It's long. Rebound goes to Maryland, who's made 2 straight from downtown. Triple from Mills and Coit. It's with Diggy now again. Pass over to Cherkson Jr., gets it to Solomon Washington on the right wing. Christoph Tilley picks it off. It's stolen by Ohio State. Tilley coast to coast. Right-handed layup is good. Make it a game-high 15-point lead for Ohio State, 57-42. Maryland with it offensively. Washington to the left corner. Another Mills 3. His long offensive rebound cleaned up by Elijah Saunders. It'll be a foul on Ohio State. Bruce Thornton couldn't keep Elijah Saunders away from the defensive rebound. And Thornton picks up his second personal, second team foul against Ohio State. Still a good contingent of students here for a blackout theme as Maryland inbounds to Solomon Washington. On the right block, puts up a right layup. It's in and out. Defensive rebound pulled in by Ohio State's Ivan Ngoiven. Gives it to his point guard, Bruce Thornton. A two-time All-Big Ten selection slows it down in front of Maryland's Solomon Washington. Thornton gets the switch on to George Turkson Jr. Pass cross court to Royal. He's got it at the right corner. Down the baseline. Now back left side to Thornton. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Out up top to Mobley Jr. His triple is off to the left side. Glass cleaned up by Solomon Washington. And here come the Terps from right to left. Hoyt moves quickly on the right wing. Now backpedals and gives it to Elijah Saunders at the right corner. Works baseline, dribbles a righty. In the paint, stops, puts up a layup, it's blocked away. Gets his own rebound, gets the contact, layup, good for Elijah Saunders. That's a veteran who doesn't flinch when his first attempt misses, gets the rebound, takes the contact, finishes, and the foul.
That's exactly Ohio State's formula from the first half. Maryland are discovering it here. Encouraging sign after Saunders was giving away points from fouls to now be picking some up because of it.
Elijah Saunders heads to the free throw line for the first time tonight. He looks for just one, a 79% free throw shooter. Started his career playing in a national championship with San Diego State. Then went to UVA for a season. Decides to join Buzz Williams in College Park. His free throw is missed. But there's a whistle between Ohio State's Devin Royal and Maryland's George Turkson Jr. We'll call it on George Turkson Jr. Third personal on George Turkson Jr. Fifth team foul goes against Maryland. The free throw missed too. Ohio State 57, Maryland 44. That's a 13-point deficit for the Terps in the final 12:07 of this game. Chapman works it on the right side for Ohio State. Back to the left side with Gabe Cups. Left elbow with Royal. Works into the paint, fadeaway shot, it's good again. That's been Ohio State's Devin Royal's shot all night long. And puts the Buckeyes back up by 15. The Terps have a response, shooting exactly 50% today. It's 9 points lower though than Ohio State. Hoyt, left wing triple. No, too short, and rebound goes to Ugoiven in Ohio State. Thornton tries a three of his own from the left side. That one's short too. Tipped out, but into the hands of Maryland's Isaiah Watts. Teams trading missed threes. Alex Alston will take one from the right wing. That one's long too. Offensive rebound goes to George Turkson Jr. Maryland's winning the rebound battle. As Coit launches a three, that's short again. Another offensive rebound for Saunders. He puts up the second chance layup, and that one's good.
So Maryland gets something back. I mean, the first half shooting returned there with 4 straight misses, but Saunders has been delivering and the only source of Maryland's offense for the past few minutes.
Team high 16 points on a 7 for 10 night so far for Saunders. Straight away three from Chapman. Barely touches the front right of the rim. It goes out of bounds and it'll be Maryland's ball after this immediate timeout. For the Terps, still trail by 13. That offense is coming into pieces though for Maryland. Ohio State up 59-46 with 10:35 left in this second half. We appreciate you keeping it right here as you're listening to Maryland men's basketball on WMUC Sports.
Proud partner of Maryland Athletics. In their partnership, thanks to Terrapin Road for their continued support of Maryland Athletics.
Gary Williams has got career win number 600. I'm Gary Williams, and I have Maryland pride.
Back here at the Xfinity Center in the final 10:35 in this game between Maryland men's basketball and Ohio State. The Buckeyes have gotten the better of the Terrapins so far, up 13, 59-46. Here on the call for WMUC Sports, I'm Ryan Martin, joined alongside by Adam Lipman, now joined by our sideline reporter, Jack Zwirn. And Jack, in this 13-point deficit for Maryland, there's been a certain veteran, though, who's playing pretty well right now for the Terps.
Yeah, and that veteran is none other than Elijah Saunders. Saunders coming off of a very disappointing game against Purdue on Sunday, 0 points, fouled out. Tonight, a huge turnaround, 16 points to lead the team, 4 rebounds and 2 assists. On a night where Diggy Coit has been surprisingly absent, Saunders has been the guy that the Terps have been going to, and it's been working pretty well for Buzz Williams despite the point deficit.
Thanks so much, Jack, giving us a little update on Elijah Saunders, the UVA transfer, who's got 16 points. That's 1 away from his season high of 17, nearing that career high of 22 points for the senior out of Phoenix. Started his career at San Diego State, spent a season at UVA, and now stays in the region by coming to Maryland. 10:35 left on the second half clock here from the Xfinity Center in College Park, Maryland, where local time reads over 10:15 barely. Thanks for staying up with us on a Thursday. Ohio State men's basketball up 59-46 over the Terps, but from right to left, here comes a Terrapins team that's trailing by 13. Right side with Andre Mills, over to Solomon Washington. Finds a cutting Guillermo Del Pino, back over to Washington at the free throw line. Bounce pass to Colin Metcalf, it's stolen away. Amari Bynum takes it. Here comes Bruce Thornton now from left to right. Into the paint, Thornton's layup. And it doesn't hit anything but glass, but he's fouled on the attempt.
Guillermo Del Pino has not had many minutes this year. He's been one of the Terps to have the fewest time, only 14 minutes entering today. Only has 3 so far this game.
Well, he picks up the foul there, first against Del Pino, the Cordoba, Spain native. 16 foul against Maryland. Sends Bruce Thornton to the line, where he's 2 for 4 so far today. And he'll miss another. Bounces off the front of the rim, to the left iron, and misses. For Thornton, senior out of Georgia, who's been one of the best Buckeyes of all time. Again, tonight hitting 1,900 career points, being just the 6th Ohio State player to do so. His second free throw swishes home. Ohio State 60, Maryland 46 in the final 10 minutes. Here's Darius Adams for the Terps. On the left side of the paint, pass it over to the right elbow with Metcalf. Now to Washington, who hands it off to Andre Mills. Mills has it stolen away again. It's another turnover. Right side with Chapman. Into the paint comes Bynum. It is a right-handed layup off the glass twice and drops down. Now a 16-point lead for Ohio State. Maryland, 14 turnovers to the Buckeyes' 5. On the right side with Del Pino. Pair of Terps waiting to check in as Maryland has it offensively. Metcalf on the left wing. Over to Adams, tries to pass it to Metcalf, up for grabs. And Solomon Washington comes away with it. They're gonna blow the whistle quick to get everything reestablished.
Just a chaotic sequence for Maryland.
Yeah, that loose ball, the shot clock acted as if Ohio State had taken back over, put on a fresh shot clock. But with Maryland getting the loose ball, that goes back to 7 seconds on the shot clock. Terps still in possession. As Colin Metcalf and Andre Mills will check out of the game for Diggy Coit and Elijah Saunders. Harold Del Pino inbounds 2 feet to the left of his head coach Buzz Williams. To Darius Adams, his right wing 3 is too strong. Rebound goes to Gabe Cups and the Buckeyes. Ohio State from left to right to Chapman into the paint, no one there. Layup's good, and the foul as Guillermo Del Pino came out of nowhere. Didn't affect the layup too much, but does pick up his second personal foul, 8th team foul.
Coming into tonight, Chapman was considered the X factor for this Ohio State offense, and he has delivered alongside Tilley. 2 of them combining for 25 points, really leading the way across the court.
Chapman's first time to the free throw line. He converts the and one, and he's got 8 points now. Washington on the right side offensively for Maryland. His layup is too strong. Rebound goes to Ohio State. The Buckeyes up to a game-high 19-point lead. Mobley Jr., a three from the right side. That one swishes. Now a 22-point lead for Ohio State as fans make their way towards the concourse here at the Xfinity Center. Ohio State up 68-46, a game-high 22-point deficit for the Terps with 8:45 left to go in the second half. We'll see what happens the rest of the way through as you're listening to Maryland men's basketball on WMUC Sports. Still up with you late on a Thursday night with 8:45 left to go in the second half. Maryland men's basketball trails Ohio State 68-46. It's a game-high 22-point lead for the Buckeyes. We're on a 9-0 run across the last 90 seconds. Turf moving from right to left with Elijah Saunders ready to inbound.
Ohio State just has all the momentum here. Elijah Saunders, the only Terrapin, try and stop that this second half.
5 on the court for Maryland. It's Mills, Alston, Saunders, Washington, and Turkson Jr. Here's Solomon Washington. Dribbles on the right side, into the right low block. His layup off the glass, and kisses it good. Washington's up to 11 points and 6 rebounds. His Terps still down by 20. Mobley Jr. on the left side. Now over to Cups, right side with Chapman. He's got a pair of triples to his name so far. Takes the left screen from Yagovin. No one on him. He puts him in mid-range. It swirls and twists out. Defensive rebound goes to George Turkson Jr. Here come the Terps. Turkson Jr. to Alex Alston. And to the left elbow with Elijah Saunders. Still has yet to dribble. And he does so now in front of Mobley. Picks it up on the left elbow, puts in a fadeaway, and gets the foul on what would have been otherwise a poor shot attempt, but draws the contact he needs to. And that'll send us to our under 8 immediate timeout. It's a comfortable Ohio State lead. Maryland trails by 20, 68-48 with 7:47 left to go in this regulation. We'll keep it interesting though. You won't want to miss it here with Maryland men's basketball on WMUC Sports. Back with Maryland men's basketball at the Xfinity Center. The Terps, they've trailed all night long, and still do to the Ohio State Buckeyes, 68-48. It's a 20-point hole with 7:47 seconds left on the second half clock. Alongside Adam Lipman, I'm Ryan Martin saying thanks so much for staying up with us on a Thursday night. We got our sideline reporter Jack Zwirn here. And Jack, for Ohio State, it's a 20-point lead because of a historically well shooting performance so far against the Terps.
Yeah, Ohio State currently sitting at 58% shooting from the field. That's 25 of 43. If they're able to bump that number up to 60%, it'll be the first time they complete that feat against a conference Big Ten opponent since at Wisconsin in December 2nd of 2017. So it's been quite some time for the Buckeyes since they've done this against a conference opponent. Can they reach that 60% mark, just 2 percentage points away at the current moment? Back to you, Ryan.
Thanks so much, Jack, giving us an update on where Ohio State's offense sits right now. It's a Buckeye team that had a 10-point loss at Wisconsin on Saturday. No shades of that Ohio State team, though. That's shooting 47% from deep. You mentioned 58% from the field. And looking to get to 60% overall for a historic shooting performance. Quick check-in on the numbers with Maryland down 68-48, 7:47 left to go in the second half. It's 16 points. That's a team high for Elijah Saunders. 7 of 10 shooting, 4 rebounds to go along with it too. Ohio State so far paced by Christoph Tilley. He had 0 points last time out, 17 today. 7:47 seconds left on the second half clock. 68-48 Ohio State lead. As Elijah Saunders goes to the line for Maryland, his first free throw is missed. Saunders does have a team high 16 points, looking to tie a season high with 17. His second free throw does just that. 17 for Saunders, but Maryland still down by 19. Terps bring the half-court press. Ohio State breaks it with Tayson Chapman, though. Into Yagovin, and his two-handed slam is money. Left the 7-2, Yagovin wide open, and he slams it down to a 21-point Ohio State lead. To the right block with Elijah Saunders. Over to Tiggy Coit. Coit, left side with Solomon Washington. Andre Mills, left corner three is good. Mills adds his second triple. He's got 11 points. Maryland down 70-52. Final 7 minutes as the crowd sparses here at the Xfinity Center. A floater from Devin Royal is missed for Ohio State. And Maryland has it in transition with Solomon Washington. Tiggy Coit on the left wing. Moves around to Solomon Washington. Left side to Elijah Saunders. Over to Coit. Step backs. Now at the right elbow. Over to the right side. Saunders a three. He's got it. A new season high for Elijah Saunders. And it costs Ohio State a timeout. That's 20 points for Elijah Saunders. 3 threes. Fortunately for Maryland fans, hasn't done much on the scoreboard. Ohio State still up by 15, 70-55 in the final 6:26 of this second half, where Maryland men's basketball is right here on WMUC Sports. about that? There's still some vibes and energy in the Xfinity Center on a Thursday night. Maryland men's basketball takes the court. They trail Ohio State by 15 though, with 6:26 left in this game. It's a 70-55 lead for the Buckeyes. Maryland has made each of its last 3 shots on a 6-0 run. A lot of this feels like too little too late though for the Terps, Adam.
Maryland has just struggled to build momentum. Their best run all game is a tie with this run and one in the first half of 6 points. Maryland just have not been able to get out of their own way and create high-quality possessions, which is what Ohio State has been doing all game.
This was a 12-point Ohio State lead at halftime, and it hasn't gone under that in the second half. Buckeyes in their road red uniforms with gray trim, still working from left to right, as Bruce Thornton sets up his white sneakers on the Maryland M at midcourt. Pass over to John Mobley Jr. He's got 12 points to Thornton. Tipped out by Diggy Coit with 4 seconds. Ohio State has to get up a shot. Royal lob up to Tilly. And the alley-oop goes astray as the foul goes against Elijah Saunders. It'll be the second personal foul on Saunders, 8th team foul to put Ohio State in the bonus. Christoph Tilly goes back to the line, where so far today he's 2 for 5. Again, the 7-footer from Germany had 0 points in the loss at Wisconsin. Here he makes the first free throw. Up to a team-high 18 points. He was 0 for 8 shooting against the Badgers on Saturday. Now against the Terrapins, 7 of 10 from the field, 3 of 6 from the free throw line. Santa Clara transfer puts up the second free throw. That swishes home too. Game high, or team high 18 for Tilly. Saunders pacing all scorers with 20. Saunders into the game with Maryland moving it from right to left. Saunders gives it to Coit atop the key. Takes the high right screen from Turkson Jr. Swung all around to the hot hand in Saunders. His triple is in and out. Rebound barely kept in play by Ohio State's Bruce Thornton. Thornton coast to coast. Picks up his dribble, passes it out to Bynum. Swung left side with Tilly. Has a teammate in Royal. Crossover on the left side, into the paint. Lefty layup, and the shot attempt's gonna be waved off. Solomon Washington had maybe a block, maybe a foul, but first it goes as a foul on Ohio State's Christoph Tilly. His 3rd personal, 5th team one against the Buckeyes. Still up by 17. Elijah Saunders to Solomon Washington, with Maryland having another sizable deficit to play from behind. Terps 1-9 in conference play. All 10 games have been decided by double digits. Blowout win against Penn State, and sizable losses to everyone else. Coit into the paint, bounce pass to Turkson Jr., left-handed layup, misses, gets his own offensive rebound, and he's fouled on the second chance try.
It's been a tough night for Turkson and for Maryland, who on their first attempts they've struggled to find success, but unless they're finding a shot beyond the arc with no contest, they have not been able to deliver. These fouls have been all that's saving them from a blowout like Purdue.
Here's Turkson Jr.'s first trip to the line today for a 50% free throw shooter. His first one is long, off back iron. Only attempts 19 and 20 for Turkson Jr. this year in game number 22. Until he heads to the bench, he's got a team high 17 points and also a team leading 4 fouls. Ohio State up 72-55 with 4:50 left in this game. Texas A&M transfer Turkson Jr. takes 2 slow dribbles at the free throw line. His second free throw is long again, misses both, and the rebound goes to Ohio State's Bruce Thornton. Bynum has it atop the key, hands it off to Mobley Jr. Works against Diggy Coit, straightaway 3, and Coit's face is long, off back iron. Offensive rebound goes to Royal. 15 on the shot clock. Bynum inside on Coit, and the help defense will mean a foul against Maryland. And Amari Bynum heads to the line.
Maryland foul on George Turkson Jr. His 4th personal.
So far in 2026, Ryan, Maryland have only held opponents to fewer than 70 points twice. The defense has not been able to keep the offense in the game.
First free throw from Bynum is missed. This is his first trip to the line. Yeah, you mentioned it, Adam. This is a Maryland team that gives up a Big Ten worst 79 points per game. They'll do that here tonight. Bynum's second free throw misses as well. The freshman out of Omaha can't make either of them. Still a 72-55 lead for the Buckeyes. Final 4 minutes and change in this game. Mills into the paint, stops, puts up a shot. It's short. Ball trickles out on the baseline right under Maryland's shooting hoop. They'll keep it with the Terps, saying it goes off of Ohio State. Isaiah Watts inbounds it just to the left of the hoop. And with some off-ball motion before the inbound, it's going to be a foul that goes against Maryland. They're going to call an offensive foul on Elijah Saunders for his third personal foul, 10th team foul against Maryland. So just the problems in the first half continuing in the second for the Terps. Bruce Thornton takes it up for Ohio State. He's looking to move to 15-7 on the season and continue a year in which the Buckeyes, second-year head coach Jake Diebler, have not lost 2 straight yet. Right side with Devin Royal. Bounce pass to Thornton Jr. He stops, puts up a right-handed floater that falls in. 19-point lead for Ohio State. Final 3.5 minutes. Coit. Pretty layup with the right hand off the left side. It's his 9th point. Maryland's 57. Terps still down by 17. Chapman into the paint. He'll put up another right-handed floater. No good. Gets his own offensive rebound. Mobley Jr. straightaway 3. Got it.
Three-point basket for John Mobley Jr.
John Mobley Jr. who's got his now team-leading 69th 3. He's got 5 threes in this game too. Give Mobley Jr. all 15 points. Saunders tries a 3 himself, but the Maryland triple won't go. Now Mobley Jr. picks up the rebound. We'll see if Ohio State takes off a little more time on this clock as Buzz Williams stands just 5 or 6 feet behind Ohio State point guard John Mobley Jr. Williams watches on for what will be a 4th loss in a row for the Terps. Bynum into the paint, has it stolen away by Saunders. Maryland on the fast break. Coit to Isaiah Watts, moves it up to the right side. Maryland slow with everything offensively, and Buzz Williams calls a timeout. Well, the first year Maryland head coach, screaming, jumping, showing a lot of energy that maybe he hopes he'll get to his Terrapins on the court. It's a timeout called by the Terps, down 77-57 to Ohio State. We got 2 minutes, 19 seconds left on this game clock, and we're going to spend it all having fun with you right here while you listen to Maryland men's basketball on WMUC Sports. final 2:19 here at the Xfinity Center in College Park in a Maryland men's basketball game that's all but decided. The Terps trailing Ohio State 77-57. It's a 20-point deficit for a Maryland team that continues to struggle under first-year head coach Buzz Williams. It's been Maryland's toughest schedule in 70 years. This game against Ohio State, none easier, but it's Maryland's first game in a 4-game stretch in which Maryland doesn't play a top 15 opponent. It's looking like the Terps' 4th straight loss anyways. Andre Mills to Solomon Washington, one dribble, two-handed dunk. Washington's dunk gives him 13 points. Maryland still trails by 18. Ohio State breaks the press over to Chapman. He puts up a layup attempt and is fouled hard by Elijah Saunders. Saunders' 4th personal foul, Maryland's 11th as a team.
So it's the price Maryland's paying for Saunders' production today, leading the team with 20 points, but the fouls have come back to bite, and you could make the argument that it's been a net negative that these fouls have given Ohio State a lead that they can work with.
It was Saunders who now picks up his 4th foul against Chapman, who makes the first free throw. Saunders played a season-low 13 minutes. That's as long as it took him to foul out against number 12 Purdue on Sunday. Now he's turned it around with a season-high 20 points. Got 4 fouls, though, he'll have to watch out for in these final 2 minutes as Chapman makes the first, misses the second. Ohio State up by 19. Final 2 minutes for Maryland to show something offensively. Something for Buzz Williams to go back, watch the tape, and notice a silver lining, perhaps. Diggy Coit takes the high screen from Solomon Washington. Washington gives it back up to Coit. Straight away 3 is long. And some pushing and shoving under the hoop. Buzz Williams makes sure that his whole bench stays right there. Maryland's Elijah Saunders and Ohio State's Taysom Chatham get into it for a moment. And Jake Diebler has walked all the way from the far left Ohio State bench to the near right corner where all this was going down. Diebler's still on the court, getting his Ohio State guys out of the way.
And when you have a 19-point lead like this, you want to look professional, especially when you're an Ohio State program that's trying to return to the top of the Big Ten. You can't be having fights late game with a team like Maryland, who are 1-9 in conference, and unless they pull off a 19-point comeback here, are soon to be 1-10.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it'll happen, partner, with 93 seconds left.
And I mean, for Maryland, you know, they had fallen so far in this losing streak that they lost by over 40 to Michigan State, 30 to Purdue, and tonight it's looking like they might be around 20. So it sounds like progress, but that's only because this program in the recent weeks has fallen so far, and they're still trying to find a way to turn it around.
So we'll clear up that play as these both teams head to their benches while our refereeing crew, again, your 3 on the game today, Brian Dorsey, James Breeding, and Bart Lennox, clear this up. It's going to go as a 5th personal against Elijah Saunders. He fouls out in the final 93 seconds. He has a team-high 20 points. But the extracurriculars between Saunders and Ohio State's Taysom Chapman is the reason why the Maryland fans, who are few and far between here still at the Xfinity Center, they thought they had a problem with Chapman maybe giving an extra jab on Saunders, who's going to foul out of this game.
But you know, Ryan, I think it's more so that this losing streak has been really tough for all these players who, a lot of these guys transferred to Maryland, were really excited to make an impact in a new place after this team was so successful last year in the NCAA tournament. Things just haven't worked out.
We also have offsetting contact flagrant fouls on 13 black and 3 red. As a result, they're ejected from the game.
So you hear that right there. Though, take a look at it. Elijah Saunders was already ejected out of this game for his 5th personal foul. They're going to add the flagrant that would have ejected him too. So Saunders heads from, you foul out, you can sit on the bench, get the flagrant, you got to head to the locker room, which is where Elijah Saunders goes to a clap for the Maryland fans that recognized he finished with 20 points. But also for Ohio State, it's redshirt sophomore Taysom Chapman out of Minneapolis. He'll also pick up the flagrant and be ejected from this game.
Elijah Saunders results in a
So a bit of a mess in the final 93 seconds. That will go as Ohio State's 7th conference win this year. It will drop Maryland's Big Ten record to a lowly 1-10. And to go back to your point, as we can talk about in a game that's over right now, a 19-point Ohio State lead, there are 15 new players on this Maryland men's basketball team under first-year head coach Buzz Williams. A lot of the players preseason, Adam, we're talking about following Buzz Williams to Maryland because of what he promised them as men before players, as developing them as humans above everything else. That's what Elijah Saunders said attracted him. He played under Tony Bennett at UVA as Bynum misses the free throw for Ohio State. He saw a lot of Tony Bennett and Buzz Williams, just hasn't led to on-court success.
And I mean, Ryan, these guys are so unfamiliar with losing. At Texas A&M, these players were successful under Buzz Williams. The one player who's returned from Maryland, that was a great time last year, and high school guys found success with their respective programs. This is a completely new situation for everyone on the roster.
Final possessions in what's a 20-point Ohio State lead. Bynum makes the second free throw, putting them up to 5 points. 79-59 in favor of Ohio State in the final 75 seconds. Goivin picks up the foul for Ohio State with Solomon Washington dribbling along the baseline. But there was 0 returning scholarship players, with Kevin Willard heading to Villanova. Willard, to the dismay of many Maryland fans, having a lot of success right now at Villanova. So is Texas A&M's replacement for Buzz Williams in Bucky McMillan. They call it Bucky Ball there in College Station now, the top team in the SEC. Maryland's still trying to figure it out. Solomon Washington doing his part, but not on that free throw. That will miss. A lot of figuring it out for a Maryland team. We'll head to Minnesota on Super Bowl Sunday as the next game up. It's a Minnesota team. It's about 500. It'll be on over a week rest for the Golden Gophers. As right there, Solomon Washington picks up his second foul, 14th team foul against the Terps. Here's Gabe Cupps at the free throw line. First free throw, they switched his Gabe Cupps. Sound like a recognizable name to you at all?
No, I think I'm missing something,
He's
right?
got close to 300,000 Instagram followers. He was a high school commodity with his social media presence. Goes to Indiana for a couple years. Here, he'll make both free throws.
Sounds like I should join the 300,000.
Maybe. He's got more Instagram followers than Kansas Ford and projected #1 overall pick Darren Peterson. Here's Maryland on one of its final offensive possessions in what will go as another double-digit loss. Isaiah Watts puts up a left side three. That one's good. Watts' first 3 points. He had 2 points against Purdue, now has 3 against Ohio State. Maryland brings the half-court press, and it's Ohio State's Gabe Cupps, who is fouled by Andre Mills. 4th personal foul. Matt Noble, public address announcer, has to check his notes. Yeah, that's 15 team fouls against Maryland. First free throw from Cupps on this sequence is good, is missed. Cupps from Dayton, Ohio. Played with Bronny James in high school too. Bronny and Bryce James, the sons of LeBron James. Now finds his way to Ohio State, where LeBron said he might have gone if he went to college. A story for another day, I guess. Ohio State up 82-62. Final 25 seconds in this game. Should be Maryland's last offensive possession for a Terps team that will move to 1-10 in conference play. Goes outside to Andre Mills. His pass over to Alex Alston is tipped out by Bynum. This stays with the Terps. 5 seconds on the shot clock. 13.7 on the game clock.
Ryan, if Maryland can get 2 points here, they will have the lowest margin of defeat this entire losing streak with 18. Previous low was 19 in the loss 89-70 to Illinois.
Those are not numbers you want to see if you're a Maryland fan. It's been a disappointing year, to say the least. Inbound goes off of Andre Mills. It's another turnover. 16 turnovers for Maryland, 8 for Ohio State. That's led to 24 points off turnovers for Ohio State. Maryland has 2 points off turnovers in this game. And that's how it'll end. Gabe Cupps gets the inbound for Ohio State. He barely jogs the ball up the timeline near his head coach, and Jake Diebler. This game clock will run out in what is a 20-point Ohio State win. Buckeyes take it 82-62. Maryland drops to 8-14 on the season, 1-10 in Big Ten play. All 10 of those losses by double digits. With the 20-point win, Ohio State advances to 15-7 on the year, 7-5 in Big Ten play. Adam, it's more of the same for Maryland, who just needs to find a way to get through this season with a few more positives that it's shown so far through 22 games.
And I think, Ryan, the focus has to shift just to player development. Who can you help for next season? What can you unlock? What tools can you build? Because as a team, the cohesion is just not there, and it would be a surprise to see that trend suddenly change as the season comes to a close.
It was 3 straight defeats against top 15 teams by an average of 30 points per defeat. You can't say you faced a ranked opponent tonight, but you can still say Maryland lost handedly. Ohio State 82, Maryland 62, our final here on a Thursday night from the Xfinity Center. Thanks so much for staying up close to 11 p.m. local time for our call right here. For my partner Adam Lipman and our sideline reporter Jack Zwirn, both were excellent today. Appreciate their contributions. I'm Ryan Martin saying thanks so much for listening to this. Your final score for the final time, Ohio State 82, Maryland 62. We'll see you later this weekend on WMUC Sports.